Welcome back po sa Power to Unite with Elvira. Napakahalaga po ang aming discussion ngayon ng aming special guest na galing pa po sa Vatican. Kung kilala niyo po siya, siya ay walang iba kundi His Eminence, Oswald Cardinal Gracias, kung saan po talagang napakahalaga ng role niya dahil siya po isa sa mga 8 top-ranking advisor po ng ating Santo Papa na walang iba kundi si Pope Francis. At napakahalaga ang kanyang mga isi-share sa atin dahil po siya din po ay presidente ng Federation of Asia Bishop Conference, at the same time presidente din po siya ng Catholic Bishop Conference of India. So kung ano ang pag-uusapan namin, siya po ang tabayan ninyo sa pagbabalik ng Power to Unite with Elvira.
May maganda daw po kayong balita.
May biyayang darating sa atin. Hinirang ang ating bayan. Pinili ang bansang Pilipinas upang dito idaos ang 51st International Eucharistic Congress.
Dadayuhin ng mga Katoliko sa buong mundo. Magkita-kita tayo sa Cebu sa January 2016.
Sa selebrasyon na ito, maghahari ang pagmamahal sa isa't isa dahil tayo ay pamilya ng Diyos at Siya ang ating Ama.
Saksihan natin ang real presence ni Jesus sa Eucharist. Yan ang misa ng mundo.
Pinakamalaking pagsasama ng mga mananampalataya. Pagtulong-tulungan natin para may sakatuparan.
Mula sa ating munting kakayahan, may handog natin ang pinakamalaking selebrasyon ng banal na Eucharistia.
Makapangyarihan ng mamamayang Pilipino, kaya natin ito.
Isang pamilya sa ilalim ng isang Diyos. Nag-iisang bangka tayo sa isang pananampalataya. Christ in you, the hope of glory.
Welcome to Manila, Your Eminence, Cardinal Gracias. One of the things that we wanted to know, because India is a very huge country, and I think how many population that you have? You're second to China, right?
Yes, so, we have 1.1 billion people.
Imagine.
But the Catholics are few, percentage-wise, we're 1.8% of the population. But in absolute figures, we are 20 million. 20 million, Pope Benedict often reminded me, is more than many countries. The number of Catholics quite big.
So you have around 20 million
20
Catholics.
Million Catholics.
Yeah. And these Catholics, you know, is in the northern part of India. Where is this located?
No, they are in different parts. We've got quite a big number in Kerala. At one time, Kerala was about 30% Catholics. Then Goa, which was a Portuguese, where my parents came from, that's why I have this name.
Yes.
And Goa at one time was 50% Catholic, more than half. But now there's migration, and so people have gone and come. Then we've got a tribal belt in the clear Delhi, little in the north. And finally, the northeast of the country. So these 4 areas, quite a number.
Goa plays a very important role because I think St. Francis Xavier was buried there. Maybe that's the reason why a lot of pilgrim goes to here.
As a matter of fact, next month, and I'll be going there to inaugurate and again for the feast. Once every 10 years, they have an exposition of the relics of St. Francis Xavier. You know, the body of St. Francis Xavier is there, and it was incorrupt. It was incorrupt. But now we call it relics because the hand has been taken to Rome and some parts have been taken to different parts of the world. So now really it's not the full body. So lots of people will come next month for about a month.
Yes.
There'll be, the relics are brought over there, people come, pilgrims come. So that's a very important center of Catholicism. Also culturally it's very nice because it's a mixture of the West and the East. The Portuguese were ruling that for about 400 years. It was a colony of Portugal. And then, of course, the Indian influence. So you have a beautiful place because lots of good relations with other religions. Then the church is flourishing a lot, lots of institutions, presence of churches. Lots of people have left. My own parents were born there. Now they came to Mumbai, now Bombay. And then I was born and brought up there. And that, again, lots of people from Goa have come to Bombay. And that's how, again, Bombay also got very Catholic. That's a big Catholic influence in Bombay.
I find it very interesting that, you know, India being such a huge country where the dominant are the Hindus, you know, and it's good that you don't have religious conflict with them.
India is really a melting pot in that sense. There's so many religions. Now, just last week, I had a meeting in Delhi with the Dalai Lama, he had organized, and there were leaders of 9 different religions, all in India. So Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Islam, of course, and then there are small groups like the Parsis, Baha'is, and Christianity with it. Now, therefore, and the relationship is good. I must say, sometimes in India, that's unfortunate. There has been conflict between the Hindus and the Muslims sometimes. That's created problems for the country. Not good for the country. Then the Christians also have had some small problem. But in general, it's a really peaceful place where we are able to understand, tolerate, and have good interreligious dialogue. The church is a pioneer in dialogue and really has helped people to understand one another.
Who influenced you to become a Christian or, let's say, a Catholic?
I've got great devotion to St. Francis Xavier because he brought Christianity to go in that area and preach. Now, my ancestors, I mean, we must have been Catholics now for about 300 to 400 years. I know that my uncle was a priest and his uncle was a priest. We were able to trace 7 generations of priests in my family. So there was been a tradition of Christianity. That's how we must have been Hindus, I'm sure, before, then became Catholics, and now it is so much part of our blood. Then we moved to Mumbai, and then there again, there's a lot of Catholic influence.
So that means to say the reason why you become a priest because of the influence of your ancestors.
Yes.
So that means to say the faith is rooted in the family
very
already.
Much, you know. Let's say why I became a priest. At home, it was normal that my uncles would come and priests would come to my house and priests would be in and out of the house. The influence, their influence. And then, of course, one parish priest influence back there. And it came so naturally that I felt I had to be a priest and serve people, serve Jesus, and be his disciple. And the family had understood it. There was no objection. They encouraged. And at home also, there was prayer life at home. We used to say the rosary at home every evening. And religion was very, very important element on everything. It was taken for granted that religion was central. Jesus was everything for us. And all the church feasts became a family feast. And the family also was very close. We are going to have the Synod on the Family, for which I'm going again. And I'm happy to be able to share with them also. Really, I can see that the joys of a person really are in the family. And the successes are because of the family. And when you have sorrows, the family is there to support you. So I think it's the family. That's why I get a little worried when family values go down. Family gets disintegrated. That seems disastrous in the long run, because I can see the joys and successes, hopes, everything begin in the family, and ultimately we've got to come back to the family, and therefore it's important to strengthen the family. Pope Francis realized this, and he often speaks about it. That's why he called the Synod of the Family. And he says, this is the problem we must face and see how to strengthen. And as you know, we'll have 2 synods this year and again next year on the same topic.
And the reason why we all have this problem because of lack of attention.
I would think
so. And then everybody's so secular right now, only after the comfort of their life, they never think of the values that is very important, that is being embedded while we are still young. And I think this practice has to continue,
it is true.
right?
I'm wondering now, Elvira, really, I was thinking of late that I think people will gradually begin to realize this. And I hope the church is able to make this contribution, not only for Catholics, but for everybody.
Yeah, every religion.
Yes, that really the family is important. And if we are able to get that back, I think we will also be able to transform society, because then morality will come back, ethics will come back, then care for the others will come back, prayer life surely will come back. I really am hopeful. I'm hopeful. I don't think that the world there's so much of violence, but all that, because I think the family is where all the solutions are in the family. People need a family to be able to grow, to heal the wounds, to be able to grow emotionally.